What's up guys, DAVECHER here, and today I'm going to be giving some fast facts on the Nick and ZACK Gallagher Pro model from Sweets Kendamas. So first off, we're going to start with the Nick Gallagher Pro model. So to start off this Kendama, we're going to start on the Tama. And the Tama has a blue tracking kind of circle at the top, dark blue, really nice for tracking. It then splits to a really nice design that both of these Pro models have. It's kind of like a swirl paint design. Nick's has the blue, dark blue kind of design in that swirl. And then there's two white stripes in the middle for a second element of tracking. And from there, we split to a nice design at the bottom, kind of like a 70-30. But this has a bunch of small white lines that adds a third level of tracking in this Tama. So this Tama has a lot of tracking in it, same with the ZACK Gallagher Pro mod. But this one has 3 levels of tracking. You got the dark blue on the top, you got the 2 white stripes in the middle, and then that design on the bottom, the 70-30. So the Tama design is really vibrant. The colors are super bright. Let's talk about the paint for a little bit. The paint has chipped quite a bit, just being honest here. It might be because I've done a couple of yanks on it, but it has chipped quite a bit. And the paint on this one doesn't seem as good as the paint on the ZACK Gallagher Pro model. So as far as the paint goes, it has chipped quite a bit already. I've had it for about a month. And it's still pretty sticky, but the ZACK Gallagher is way stickier in terms of paint. Moving down to the bevel, I really like the bevel. It's just a really nice big bevel that lots of Kendamas have these days. So moving down to the Ken now, so most of these Kendamas have the prime shape. This is the prime shape in a full maple Ken. Starting it off here, we just have the sword, which is the spike. Really good spike length. I really like the prime shape. On the big cup and the small cup, we have the engraving of Nick Gallagher. Looks super nice right there. Going down the Ken, we have this design, these lines near the handle or the ring stall. That is kind of similar to the design on the Tama, the 70-30, the 30 part at the bottom of the Tama. So that's really cool, that engraving around there. Moving down, we have the Sweets logo between the handle stall and the ring stall, like always. And on the bottom, we have the NZ Nick and ZACK Gallagher logo on the base cup. So now actually about the shape, I always love prime shape, so there's not much I can say about it. It's really good for lunars, really good for slingers. You got the big cups like always. So not much else to say about the prime shape. I did find that my ZACK Gallagher Pro model was a bit better for lunars. I might have just got unlucky with this one, but it's still pretty good for lunars. Good for slingers, like I said. The ring stall and the handle stall are really defined, so that's nice. The one downside to this maple prime shape is that maple is not as good for stalls. Maple is my favorite wood, but it's not as good as beech for stalls, so that's one thing you have to consider right there if you're going to be picking this up. I'm not even sure if this is still available, but yeah, let's move on to the ZACK Gallagher Pro model now. So to start off the ZACK Gallagher Pro mod, we have the yin yang on the top there. I think that's what it's called. That's a nice level of tracking right there. Split to this kind of same paint swirl design that was on the Nick Gallagher Pro model, but this has the black, the gray, and the white. His is overall a darker theme, more blacks and grays and stuff like that. From there, we split to a black section with this white design, and this design is actually very similar to the radar design that Sweets has dropped recently, the prime radars. So it has this nice design down here, really good for tracking. So this Tama delivers 2 elements of tracking, not as much as the Nick Gallagher Pro model because it doesn't have any stripe in the middle, but definitely 2 is still a lot. Lots of Kendamas only have 1, so having that 2 elements of tracking and then the Nick with the 3 is great. Let's talk about the paint for a second here. The paint, like I said, has held up a bit better than the Nick Gallagher Pro model. It seems a lot stickier in my opinion. And there's not as many chips on this one as in the Nick Gallagher Pro model, and I've played them about the same. So the bevel is pretty much the same as the Nick Gallagher Pro model. Super big, super good for spikes and stuff like that. So let's get a quick sound check on these, compare the paint stickiness. So this is the ZACK GALLAGHER, the sound of the paint after 1 month of playing it. So that's how it sounds. Can't really, the stick has definitely worn off like it always will. And here's the sound of the paint on the Nick Gallagher. This one is actually sounding a bit stickier right now. Maybe just because I haven't jammed it today, but usually the ZACK Gallagher is a bit more sticky. So moving down to the Ken for the ZACK Gallagher Pro Mod, it's the same as the Nick Gallagher Pro Mod, but with a couple of different engravings. You have the ZACK on the small cup, the Gallagher on the big cup, same as the Nick Gallagher, but ZACK of course. We have this kind of design right above the ring stall that matches the design on the bottom of the Tama. Really cool, kind of looks like the radar design again right there. You got the Sweets logo down here between the handle stall and the ring stall, and then you got the NZ Nick Gallagher, ZACK Gallagher logo on the base cup. So, like I said, it's the same shape with these two Pro models. Maple Prime, super good shape. The one downside to Maple is that it's not as great for stalls as Beach. But yeah, that's basically it. Those were some fast facts for the Nick and ZACK Gallagher Pro mods. They're both really good for lunars. The paint is pretty sticky. They're good for slingers. They're pretty much good for everything because prime shapes are super good. And combining that with Maple is just a really nice shape. So yeah, that's basically it for this fast facts. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Make sure to also tell me what Kanama I should do a fast facts on next down below. And yeah, if you guys liked it, like I said, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.